The Federalist Papers explained how Hamilton, Madison, and Jay shaped America's Constitution. The United States of America was born in the wake of revolution, but its survival was far from guaranteed. After declaring independence from Britain, the colonies faced a new challenge: how to unite 13 diverse states under a single government. The Articles of Confederation, the first attempt, proved too weak to manage the new nation's problems. The fragile government struggled with issues of interstate conflict, a lack of central authority, and the looming threat of economic collapse. Amidst this turmoil, a growing number of leaders recognized the need for a stronger central government. Debates raged over whether a new constitution should be created and what form it should take. Some feared the creation of a central authority, reminiscent of the tyranny they fought to escape. Yet, others believed that only a powerful union could safeguard the hard-won freedoms. In 1787, delegates gathered in Philadelphia to draft a new constitution, one designed to balance power between the states and the central government. This was no small task, and disagreements were fierce. The proposed constitution needed approval from the states, but many citizens remained unconvinced. Fear of centralized power haunted the American psyche, and opponents, known as anti-federalists, argued against the document. It was within this charged atmosphere that three men, Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay, took up the pens. Their mission: to convince the people of New York, and the nation, to adopt the new constitution. Over the span of months, they wrote 85 essays explaining, defending, and promoting the principles of the proposed government. These essays would come to be known as the Federalist Papers. New York, a crucial state in the ratification process, became the primary target of this campaign. Without its support, the Constitution's future was uncertain. The essays were published in newspapers, seeking to sway public opinion. And though written over 200 years ago, the arguments presented in the Federalist Papers remain vital to understanding America's foundation. The Founding Fathers' Dilemma: Crafting the Constitution. The Constitutional Convention was marked by intense debate and clashing visions for the future of America. Some favored a loose confederation of states, while others sought a more unified and powerful central government. The challenge was to find a balance that would prevent both tyranny and chaos. Every proposal was met with resistance, as delegates feared repeating the mistakes of the British monarchy. George Washington presided over the convention, lending it a sense of gravity and urgency. Alexander Hamilton, an advocate for a strong national government, feared that without unity, the fledgling country would crumble. James Madison, considered the father of the Constitution, envisioned a government with separated powers, ensuring no single branch could dominate. These leaders were determined to prevent the kind of unchecked authority they had fought against during the Revolution. The most significant challenge was how to create a federal government that respected state sovereignty while maintaining national cohesion. The delegates grappled with questions about representation, taxation, and executive power. Compromises were made, such as the Great Compromise, which established a bicameral legislature. The Constitution slowly took shape, embodying ideals of democracy while maintaining necessary control. Not everyone at the convention was pleased with the results. Some felt the Constitution gave too much power to the central government. This divide led to the rise of the anti-federalists, who believed the new system would undermine individual and state rights. Their voices would play a crucial role in shaping the debate that followed. Despite the fierce opposition, the Constitution was completed and ready for ratification. But this was just the beginning. It now needed to win the hearts and minds of the people. The stage was set for one of the most important public debates in American history, and the Federalist Papers would become the torchbearer for the Constitution's defenders. Hamilton, Madison, and Jay, the architects of the Federalist Papers. At the forefront of the campaign to ratify the Constitution were three remarkable men: Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay. Each brought a unique perspective to the project. Hamilton, the fiery and ambitious statesman, was determined to see the Constitution succeed. Madison, the thoughtful and meticulous philosopher, provided the intellectual framework for the arguments. Together, Hamilton and Madison wrote the majority of the Federalist Papers, with John Jay contributing a few key essays early on. The task they set for themselves was monumental. They needed to persuade not only the intellectual elites but also ordinary citizens to accept the Constitution. This required clear explanations of complex political theories and practical arguments about the nation's future. The essays were written at a rapid pace, often under intense pressure. Hamilton alone wrote over 50 of the 85 essays, displaying an almost superhuman ability to churn out polished, persuasive arguments. These essays were published in New York newspapers, often appearing anonymously or under pseudonyms. They were aimed at dispelling the fears and doubts that surrounded the new Constitution. John Jay, though initially a contributor, was forced to step back due to illness. This left Hamilton and Madison to carry the bulk of the work. Despite the pressure, the essays maintained a high level of intellectual rigor. Each essay tackled a different concern about the Constitution, building a comprehensive case for a strong but limited federal government. These essays quickly became the center of public discourse. People across the country debated the merits of the Constitution, spurred by the ideas laid out in the Federalist Papers. It was a battle for the very soul of the nation, and Hamilton, Madison, and Jay had taken on the role of its defenders. Their words shaped the future of the United States, cementing their place in history. Key themes and arguments: federalism, checks and balances, and liberty. At the core of the Federalist Papers were three key themes: federalism, checks and balances, and the protection of liberty. Federalism was the idea that power should be divided between national and state governments, ensuring neither would become too powerful. Hamilton and Madison argued that this division of powers was essential for preserving freedom while maintaining order. They believed the new system would prevent the chaos of weak government under the Articles of Confederation. The idea of checks and balances was another crucial component of their arguments. The authors contended that by dividing the government into three branches, executive, legislative, and judicial, no single branch could dominate. Each would have its own powers, but also the ability to check the others, ensuring a balance of power. This system, they argued, would protect the country from tyranny. While the anti-federalists feared that the Constitution lacked explicit protections for individual rights, the Federalist Papers addressed these concerns by emphasizing the importance of the structure itself. The system of government they proposed, they argued, would inherently protect liberty. A centralized government, constrained by checks and balances, would be less likely to infringe on personal freedoms. Nevertheless, the call for a Bill of Rights would later be met with additional protections. Hamilton's famous essays on the judiciary outlined the necessity of an independent judicial branch. He argued that the courts would act as guardians of the Constitution, interpreting laws and ensuring they adhered to the nation's founding principles. The judiciary, though seemingly the weakest of the branches, would serve as a crucial check on the power of the other two. This would prevent unconstitutional laws from going unchecked. Ultimately, the Federalist Papers presented a vision of government that balanced order and liberty. The authors believed that a strong federal government was necessary to ensure stability, but they also understood the need for safeguards against tyranny. Their vision was one where the people had a voice, but where their freedoms were protected by the structure of government itself. It was a delicate balance that would shape American democracy for centuries to come. Impact and legacy, shaping America's political landscape. The immediate impact of the Federalist Papers was profound. Though written to influence the ratification of the Constitution in New York, their reach extended far beyond that state. The essays helped to clarify the arguments for a strong federal government and assuage fears of tyranny. They played a crucial role in securing the Constitution's ratification across the nation. Once the Constitution was ratified, the Federalist Papers continued to influence political thought and practice. The ideas they contained shaped the early development of the U.S. government, providing a roadmap for understanding the new system. Future generations of politicians, judges, and scholars would turn to these essays for guidance. They became a cornerstone of American political philosophy. The impact of the Federalist Papers can still be seen in the decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court. Judges and justices frequently cite the essays when interpreting the Constitution, especially on matters related to federalism and separation of powers. The vision of government outlined by Hamilton, Madison, and Jay remains a touchstone for understanding the Constitution's intent. In this way, the papers continue to shape the legal landscape of the United States. Beyond the courtroom, the Federalist Papers are studied in classrooms across the country. They offer invaluable insights into the minds of the Founding Fathers and the principles upon which the United States was built. They also provide a window into the debates that shaped the nation, showing how complex and contentious the creation of the Constitution truly was. Today, they stand as both a historical artifact and a living document. In the centuries since their publication, the Federalist Papers have become more than just a defense of the Constitution. They are a testament to the enduring nature of political discourse. They remind us that democracy is not a finished project but an ongoing conversation. The issues they addressed, federalism, power, liberty, are still debated today. And in those debates, the wisdom of the Federalist Papers continues to resonate. More than 2 centuries after they were written, the Federalist Papers remain essential to understanding the American political system. The arguments crafted by Hamilton, Madison, and Jay laid the groundwork for the nation's governance. Their writings transcended their immediate goal of securing ratification and became a lasting guide for interpreting the Constitution. The brilliance of their vision has endured through wars, political upheavals, and societal change. The men behind the Federalist Papers are now immortalized in history, their names synonymous with the founding of the United States. Their essays are more than just political writings, they are philosophical explorations of government and human nature. Through their work, they shaped not only their present but also the future of democratic governance. Their vision continues to inspire. As the country evolved, so too did the relevance of the Federalist Papers. They were cited during moments of great national crisis, offering guidance and clarity. In a nation that often struggled to balance liberty and power, these essays provided a roadmap for how to preserve both. The questions they raised about governance are as important today as they were in 1787. Today, as we face new challenges and debates about the role of government, the Federalist Papers remain a beacon of wisdom. Their insights into human nature, power, and democracy remind us of the delicate balance required to maintain a free society. They challenge us to think critically about our government and the freedoms it protects. In doing so, they continue to shape the course of American history. The legacy of the Federalist Papers endures, not just as a historical document, but as a living testament to the principles of democracy. Their words continue to echo in the halls of government and in the hearts of citizens. As long as the United States remains a democracy, the Federalist Papers will remain relevant. They are the foundation upon which America's future is built.
Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you enjoyed the content and see you in our next video.